Hello to all of my Pisces and welcome to my channel. So for today's video, this is going to be a July 2020 predictions, and we're going to take a look and see what the month of July has in store for you. So if you are a Pisces or you have Pisces in your chart, in your sun or moon rising, then this video is for you. So I have gone ahead and shuffled all of your cards. So we're going to go ahead and go through them together. We're going to start with your tarot cards, and then we will go through your oracle cards. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump right in. So Pisces, let's see what is coming in for the month of July. So the first card that we have is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Nine of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and the Two of Swords. Sorry, I forgot to say that the Queen of Swords is in reverse. Okay, so Pisces, what do we got going on here for the month of July? So just to kind of give you guys a little bit more clarification as to like how I like to read is I usually like to try to go in chronological order. So meaning like I start this off at the beginning of the month, middle, and end of the month. Okay, so let's take a look here at the beginning of the month. So we have here the Queen of Pentacles in reverse and the Nine of Cups. So the Queen of Pentacles is usually kind of depicting a sense of imbalance, meaning that, you know, it's almost like you're trying to kind of like balance your home life, your career, your finances, and it's almost like all work, no play. Like you're focusing so much on trying to kind of get things in order that you're almost kind of, you know, not having enough time, or in some cases possibly neglecting, your loved ones or those that are close to you. So whether you're in a relationship or you have a family of your own, it's almost like you don't have as much time as you would like to enjoy or be around them, just because right now your mind is so focused on, trying to kind of get all these things in order. And I feel like your heart is in the right place because especially if you have a family of your own, your thought, your forefront is like, I want to make sure that we have, enough to get by. I want to make sure that like we're okay financially. We got to make sure we have a good enough savings, like it's all of those things are really at the forefront right now. But what's funny is that we have the Nine of Cups here, and the Nine of Cups is all about, like wish fulfillment, right? So it's almost like, this is the reality and this is what you wish things could be like, like you wish, what, things could just kind of work themselves out, that you won't have to worry about finances. You don't have to worry about, your job or anything like that, that things will just kind of work out and you'll be able to just live and enjoy life. Okay. Now, I definitely believe that is very possible for anyone. I believe it's very much attainable. But right now, this is still just kind of like what you're hoping for at the back of your head or the back of your mind, that this will come to pass. Okay. So I feel like at the beginning of the month, this is pretty much going to be you trying to balance, the best of both worlds. Okay. Now, for some of you, I definitely see, I think after kind of seeing this, or maybe just kind of, realizing like, oh my gosh, yeah, like I am putting so much into this, that you might kind of just naturally realize that and want to try to find a way to, bring things into balance naturally. Others seeing this video might kind of preempt you to be like, you know what? I don't want it to be like that. I'm going to try to make sure that I do keep things pretty balanced. Okay. Now we have here the Five of Pentacles. So like the middle of the month, the Five of Pentacles, I feel like it's kind of, to me, it's explaining a little bit possibly why you're a little out of balance here at the beginning. It's because the Five of Pentacles usually deals with not having, and I don't want to say not having enough, but almost just kind of being possibly financially strapped. Like, with everything kind of going on right now, I can understand for a lot of families, it has truly affected them, whether you're not being able to work right now or hours have been cut, like depending on where you work. So, like, this could very well have a very realistic hold on a lot of people, just not being able to um, get by with what they were used to. They're kind of having to readjust and learn how to either like save more or just kind of get by on what they have, kind of just making do. So I definitely see that, and there could be possible help from others, or offers to help being offered to you in the middle of the month, especially if you have shared with others kind of like your situation. I can see that there could be some people willing to kind of help you. Again, you don't have to take the help if you don't want to. I feel like for some of you, that would almost be like, no, I could never, I could never ask. And that's totally fine. But I get the strong sense that you have, people around you in which they, they would gladly be able to help you if they could, so if you kind of get to that point where you are needing just a little bit of assistance to kind of get you through, knowing that that is an option or that is available to you. Okay. So I don't want you guys to feel like you're going to be completely without, just because, I do see the fact that you are really trying to kind of get ahead of things and, kind of make it to where you don't have to get to that point. Okay. Now, I get that this can be a very stressful time for some, as I mentioned. Okay. Now we have here the Queen of Swords in reverse. Now, whenever the Queen of Swords is in the reverse, I take this more so as she's a little bit more harsh than maybe she tends to want to be. Okay. This just kind of means like you're just more business over emotional. Okay, like you're straight to the point, very logical. It's like, I don't have time to deal with my emotions. I just need to get things going, and I just need to find a solution now. Like I said, you're all business, no pleasure. It's 100% like we need to get things going. And to some people, you might kind of come across as a little harsh or as a little cold at times. And it may, like I said, it might not be that you're meaning to. It's just because I feel like of all the things that are kind of weighing down on your mind when it comes to your finances, when it comes to like your job, just your overall sense of security, home life. There's so much kind of like going through your mind right now that it's almost like I don't have time to deal with other people's emotions. I have all my time and energy kind of focusing on what I need to do to get things right, that you're not even really thinking. It's almost like tunnel vision is kind of like what I'm getting here. Okay. Because like I said, you're just so focused on trying to get ahead, trying to make it to where you're not having to be without. Okay. Now we also have here the Two of Swords at the end. Now, this to me is what kind of gave me that, that phrase of tunnel vision, because if you notice in the picture, she has a blindfold on, but yet she's still just kind of throwing the swords anyway. And it's almost just like, you know what? I'm just going to trust wherever it goes. Like it is what it is, but this is where I'm at. I'm at the point where I don't care about the outside. I don't really care so much as like what's going on around me. I'm just focused on this, and I'm going to try to make it happen. Okay. So as I mentioned, that's really kind of where I see, that Two of Swords. So for some of you, this could be a sense of being indecisive as well. And again, just trying to kind of block out any outside noise, because that could be having an issue, or, that could be weighing in on you and trying to make the decision that you need to in regards to getting ahead, trying to find a way in order to like save money or make more money, whatever it may be. So as I mentioned, like this is definitely, I feel like towards the end of the month, kind of like where your headspace is going to, primarily be at. But the one thing that I do really want to point out, because, I know for some of you, like, hearing this, I don't want you to think like, oh my gosh, am I going to be worried about money the whole month? I don't, like I said, I don't think it has to necessarily be that. I don't see that you guys being completely without. It's just that I feel like you guys are such logical thinkers, like you're planners. Like, I need to make sure we have this, this, and this, and that's really kind of like where your mindset is at. And to some, like I said, it can just kind of come across as being a little cold or being, just too focused, I guess, and not enough play. So as I mentioned, I feel like for the month, this is going to be all about you trying to find a balance, for the two, being able to obviously focus on what needs to be focused on, but also being able to have time to relax, have time to play, have time to, enjoy being around your loved ones, your partners and, things of that nature, just so then that way you don't feel so overworked or overtired. So that's really what I want to try to get the main message across. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at your oracle cards so we can see if we get a little bit more clarification. So we have your Moonology. I accidentally took that one. Moonology oracle cards. So the first one that we have is the waning moon. This says, what do you need to release? Okay. So yeah, really think about that. What is it that you need to kind of like let go of in order to kind of get you to rebalance yourself? Okay. So for some of you, if you're constantly just thinking about, you don't have this or you don't have that, kind of getting rid of that like thought process, I think that's what's going to help you kind of just like rebalance the scales, if you will, to where you can feel a little bit more balanced. You don't have to overthink every little thing. Obviously, you want to try to do your best to stay on top of it. But you also too don't want to kind of drown yourself in this constant worry or sense of worry. Okay. All right. Next we have third quarter moon. Adjustments are required. So yeah, I definitely feel that the adjustments here are for sure going to be what it is that you're releasing, okay? What it is that you are letting go of, whether it's like this need to control the situation or just, overall sense of like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Maybe you just need to kind of let that go and just, be a little bit more practical, okay? All right, so the next one we have is tranquility. Make time to relax, be still, and enjoy your solitude, indulging in much needed self-care. Absolutely. So as I mentioned earlier with that Nine of Cups, I feel like that's ultimately where you want to be. You want to be a little bit more enjoying some peacefulness, some bliss. Maybe this is really speaking to you specifically as taking a moment to just relax, okay? Especially if a lot has been weighing on your mind. This might be that really good time to kind of help bring you back into balance, okay? Next, we have explore your options. It's time to look at other possibilities. It's a good time to make change. Okay. So yeah, so for some of you, this might mean actually maybe starting a new job or just finding something that is going to work better for you as far as like giving you a little bit more of a stronger sense of security. Maybe adding in a second source of income, something to that extent, but something where it's going to cause you to explore your options. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we have. So we have something to talk about. Use your verbal skills to heal old wounds. Your power now lies within your words, so choose them wisely. Okay. That's very powerful because, as I mentioned with that Queen of Swords energy here, this can be a little bit like a like a touchy time for some of you, especially if you're feeling that Queen of Swords energy. She's kind of sharp, like meaning like her words are very like matter of fact, straight to the point. Like there's no tiptoeing around anybody's feelings. So this might really be very beneficial to remember, like to choose your words wisely, like when you're speaking, because if you do happen to snap at like, let's say your partner or a loved one or something, and it's just because of the amount of stress that's kind of been weighing on you, that could possibly have a lasting effect on them. So just, keep that in mind moving forward. Next, we have Jack of all trades, master of none. It's time for the chameleon to stop changing colors. Choose and conquer. Okay. So this, I feel like, could have a lot to do with that Queen of Pentacles there in reverse. As I mentioned, there's just kind of a lot going on, and it's kind of hard making a choice or kind of hard rebalancing yourself. So if this necessary change or this exploring your options to change, like I said, could be requiring a new business venture or new career choice, this could be something in which you choose and actually like own it, like you stick with it. Okay. So if you're somebody who kind of like tends to bounce around from different ideas, like you've always got a money making scheme or a way to like make more money, or just to better yourself like career wise, this might be the time to really kind of focus in on that and like stick with it. Okay, and that might kind of help you too in the long run, so that way you're not having to go back into this cycle if you find that you've been here once before. Okay, all right, so we have envy. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. Okay, so I feel like this could be speaking to some of you, especially if you get to this point at the end of the month. If you're starting to feel a little envious of others, because of what you don't have yet, or the fact that you haven't quite figured out how you're going to, rise above your current situation. This is something just to kind of remember that, everybody else kind of goes through their own challenges. There's no need to be envious of anyone else of what you don't have. Okay. Next we have is love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. Love that. So yeah, just kind of staying positive and keeping love at the forefront. And indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. So this is beautiful too, because this is kind of reminding you guys to trust your intuition, okay? So even though there is an indecision there with that Two of Swords, okay, for some of you, like you're having a tough time just trying to pick and choose as to what it is that you're wanting to do or how you're wanting to address these situations, this is going to be a really good time to remember, trust your gut instinct. That might lead you to a better answer than, you would have originally thought. So definitely don't be hesitant to trust that. Okay, so next we have conflict, discord, disagreement, and common ground. Okay, so there might be a little bit of conflict going on for this month. As I said, this could have to deal with a significant other or those that are close to you, just because if we're getting towards this energy here at the end of the month, that you've kind of allowed this to kind of weigh on you a little bit more. I can understand the sense of irritability, okay? But again, just be careful of the things that you say or what you project onto others, because that could cause a little bit of conflict, okay? Next, we have solitude, rest, ponder, quiet, sanctuary. Yeah, definitely. So you've gotten this kind of twice, just kind of letting you know, like, this is a good time to really rest, find a quiet place, really give your sense of self some much needed quiet time. Okay. If that's what you need to kind of help rebalance yourself, take it. I think that will work wonders and really kind of help you guys along the way. And then we have identity, recognition, self-awareness, examine. Okay. So this, again, I think in that moment of solitude, this is where this will come into play. Okay. So that's inner self-awareness, really kind of examining everything that is around you and how you can kind of, work your way through, this situation, for this month. All right. Okay. So let's take a look at what else we have. So we have journey. Half the treasure is the journey on the path to finding it. Okay. So yeah. So this is just part of your journey. Okay. Right now, everything going on, I know it might seem for some of you like a little bit of a tough time, because I understand finances, all of that, like it can be stressful. Absolutely. I'm not trying to downplay that by any means. But this is just kind of part of your journey just to kind of get to where you ultimately will succeed. Okay. So just remember, you're not at your end point yet. You still kind of have to work your way through, and that's where things will start to, I feel, come into play for you. Okay. And then we have optimism. See, after each rainstorm, there will be clear skies. Again, right there. So I couldn't have ended this better. So staying optimistic, like remember, like the journey's only, half the way to finding what it is that you ultimately want. You will find a solution towards this. You just kind of have to work through it. So this month is going to be, I feel like, a very workable but challenging month as well. Okay, you just have to stay optimistic and give yourself some quiet time. Really take care of yourself, Pisces, through this month. Okay, that's going to be the important part, just to kind of help navigate you through your journey. All right, so Pisces, that was your reading. Definitely let me know if this resonated with you. I would love to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this reading, please go ahead and consider giving this video a thumbs up. It truly helps out the channel. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.